heat exchanger for an H400FDN Hayward, 400,000 BTU. I'm going to start with removing the cover. Pretty straightforward. 8 screws, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Remove the cover. I don't know why it keeps running, but anyway, got the flue cover off. Next, I'm going to remove these side panels. There's screws inside and a few on these black panels as well. There's 6 of these black ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 actually, sorry. And then there's 4 total on this black. 2 up here, 1 inside on the right, and 1 inside on the left. And then this should just come straight off, exposing the left-hand side facing the front of the panel. Okay. Just doing a bit of cleaning of the surfaces, a lot of buildup of junk. You'll see lots of leaves in here. I'll clean all that out with a blower and we'll get that going. Gonna do the same on the other side with the black panel, which is around the intake and out. And again, it's a couple of screws on the inside, and then on the left and right sides, inside. Sorry, you can't get that one there. And on the opposite side as well. Can't see it. So same thing, a bit of maneuvering to get the black panel off. So I think we've got to take the electrical connection off first. But the access panel is off. That has 4 screws. And then the black has 5. And catch up again. 2 screws on the sides of this electrical panel. I'm going to reveal the wiring, take off the wiring for the power, and then I should be able to have access to the rest of the valve assembly. Okay, gonna have to take some wiring off. Not sure if I can get a good photo of it, but got 2 instrument wires, red and common. For the pool and common, I don't know, and then the green and the blue. Those are the main 120 power on the terminal strip. Don't know if I'm getting any good shots of it. Okay, now I've got to disconnect the power. There's 2 blues. So from the left hand side, blue, blue, green. Take those out and then I'll be free. Okay, now that I've got all the electrical connections off, my little black panel was accessible. Had a wiring terminal there. And as I said, we had a blue, blue, green from left to right for the power, and a common white in the middle, and red on the right for pool. That's all for now. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take off the wiring to the solenoids. I believe that's what they are, or pressure sensors, don't have any idea. But we've got a black to the front, a white to the rear. So I'll remove these 2. Just making sure I keep track of it. Black to the front. Then we've got a second one, black to the bottom, red to the top. Red is common, black is, I don't know, number 3 or something. I can't really read what it says. Don't matter, maybe. See if I can zoom in on that sucker. Maybe it's something volts. Don't know. I'll just keep track of these 2 wires. Thank you. Okay, so I labeled the shit out of everything. So this is red on the top, black on the bottom, and I labeled the left and black. And then I've got this one, I've got it marked on the pipe as white as the top, black as the bottom, and then I've got the cables on the right side front and the right side rear. Hopefully that'll tell me what to do. So next thing I'm going to do is loosen the pipe connectors. Eventually, I believe I will be taking these 4 bolts off. These 2 and these 2 underneath. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, because then hopefully I separate the water connection from the heat exchanger and can remove this entire assembly. I have to figure out, I believe that that's just a disconnect with a nut wrench. Not sure how the wiring will go, if it'll spin with it, but we shall see. So as I suspected, it's just a screw in, but you're gonna have to coil up so that when you screw it in, it doesn't unravel. So just remember that. So next thing I'm gonna do is remove these 3 screws on the left, and as well the same 3 screws on the right. I believe there's one in the middle, and that should allow this cover to come off. See you in a minute. So I was wrong, it's only 6. The one on the back doesn't come off yet. That will allow this cover to come off. Alright. I believe they call that the top flue cover. Next, I'm going to remove the rain cover, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws, if you can see those. Alright. Okay, there's actually a few more. The one in the back, and I believe we have to take these off as well because it looks like it's a separate compartment. But anyway, just in case you were wondering, this is an 8mm screw socket hex driver. Bye. So now being 9, 3 on the inside, 2 on the outside, 2 in the right side, front and rear, and this whole thing comes off. Getting closer. Now I'm just going to do some cleanup because there's a lot of schmutz in here, a lot of dirt, leaves. Then the next thing is going to be the well, still says the rain shield, part of the rain shield assembly, but it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws to take this sucker off, and be with you in a moment. Gonna do it with a little low blow. Okay, before I can get this cover off, got to remove the rear louvered panel, which has 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. Mine happens to be right at the wall, so I don't have any clearance. So I've got to get a little stubby Phillips so I can get my screwdriver back in there. Okay, now I'm going for nearly the final piece. 3 screws, 2 screws, 3 screws. Then there's going to be a panel like this on the left and the same on the right, and we should be pretty much to the heat exchanger. Okay, got the 8 screws off. Let's see if this comes off as easy as it looks like it should. It does. And bye-bye. Next thing are these top covers. 1, 2, 3 on the left. I assume the same. 1, 2, 3 on the right. Coming off next. So now I think the heat exchanger is all ready to come up. I thought maybe I'd have to unbolt these connections, but I think it'll just lift completely up. I will let you know as I do it and be right back. Or maybe I'll set the camera up and see if I can show you as I do it, but probably not. I'm not that talented on the camera. So let's just pause it. Yep, that's what it was. Just basically lift out. I'll blow this out to get all those leaves and junk out. That's the firebox. Everything looks to be in pretty decent shape. Just dirty. I'll show you the heat exchanger. So here's a heat exchanger from the bottom. I'll show you my problem. Nice big burst there. There's a second one. Can't really see it from here. Anyway, it's right there, but can't really tell. So we'll see if that can be repaired. Sayonara. Okay, I've taken out the 4 bolts on the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bolts on the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. They come in this kind of doohickey way with a bolt and a washer and a sleeve, and they go basically in to each one. Very simple. Next is to remove, I'll call it the manifold, and we'll do that next. I'll add a couple things on each of these entry points. There's a gasket, so keep track of that. That's on the intake and out. Water in, water out. And then also on the inside there's an O-ring on each that goes into the heat exchanger. There's an O-ring on each of these, so keep track of those. All right, So now you can clearly see my issues. I've got a big split and a big split. Thank you, freeze of 2021, Houston, Texas. Love you very much. Not. That's the repair that I'll have to do. Soldering, we'll see. And then these brackets come off. They're just basically on here. There's a little O-ring on each of them. And that should expose me to all my pipe, and I should be able to do the repairs. Pretty proud of myself. Not quite there yet, but I've hammered down the splits as close as I could to the original. Now I've got to get them cleaned up and get ready for soldering. This one you can't see as well, but still a little split there, but I think it should be okay. Solder it up and hope for the best. Okay, prep for soldering. Cleaned, sanded, buffed. I think it's clean enough. That's number one. Number two. Might need to do a little bit on there. And we'll see. Well, I can definitely say a career in soldering is not in my future. It is certainly one of the more ugly jobs. I have no idea if it's solid, no idea if it's gonna stay. But hey, I'm not spending $1,000 on a new frickin' exchanger. Okay, I'm on the comeback, putting it back together. Put the manifold on, tightened all the bolts, greased up with silicone, all the O-rings, and put the sensors. And we'll start next is to put the heat exchanger back on the unit. Well, my soldering is not very good. As you can see, I've already got one leak. Can't tell on the other one. And I do have some leaks, don't know. So, gonna close it off again. Release the pressure. Oh well, I guess my soldering skills suck. I decided to go with a different option than soldering. I left the solder there, I had a pinhole leak, but I went and got a different kind of product. It's called by JB Weld. It's water weld. It's good for copper. 25 minutes set time, hour cure time. Hopefully that'll do it. It's not high pressure, but it is rated for, I don't know, 1300 psi. So should be more than adequate to hold it. So we'll see. I'm going to put it back in, let it sit overnight, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Okay, we're kind of at the moment of truth times part 2. We've got all my valves in the open position now. I'm going to fire up the filter and see what we get. Oh, already got a leak right here. That's wonderful. A new leak. Great. And so far, those are holding. And I had a leak here too. Well, I guess I tightened the sensor too much and maybe cracked it. I don't know. Oh, you might have a leak. Give me focus. Focus. Yeah, got a little leak. Damn it. I can't tell if I got any leaks on this side. Probably do. I see some water in there, but that could just, yeah. Fuck. Ah. Okay, we're going after moment of truth number 3, I think. I've now got the patch completely surrounding the splits. I had a couple of other cracks in the manifold which I've patched as well, and I'm about to fire it up. Let's see what we got. Okay, well, I already see some dripping. That's not so good. See a little bit of dripping there, slow drip. That's not terrible. That's also dripping. That's not so good. That seems to be holding. Let's see this one. Looks like 1 out of 2 is good. And it's not a terrible leak. Drip, drip, drip. Damn. Been a few days, ready for an update. Finally decided to get a professional involved. Went to an automotive radiator repair shop. They gave me a nice silver solder. So I'm about to get that back going. Also had some cracks in the manifold. Had a crack over here and on the pressure relief. So I had to break down and actually buy a new manifold. So just put that together. Ready, rock and roll. I'll be back soon. Okay, got all my connections made up. I'm about to let the water in, and then I will hit the pump, give it some real water pressure. Can't turn the valve with one hand, sorry. Alright, so letting the water in and let the water air pressure purge. I'm about to fire it up with the filter. Let's see what we got. Okay, got some good, no more air. Watching my pipes, looking for leaks. So far so good. We may have reached a point of success. Don't see any leaks, any heat here. Anything here. Okay, gonna pause it, keep an eye on it. So happy to report both on pool mode and spa mode, I see no leaks. Very happy about that. So next videos will be reassembly. So happy to report both on pool mode and spa mode, I see no leaks. Very happy about that. So next videos will be reassembly. So the next thing to go on is the rear cover, which, as it's named, is the cover in the back. And I believe it's 4 screws. Rear cover just slides on there like that. Very hard to see, but, and the 4 screws. Sorry for the not too exciting. 4 screws. So I think I'll just come back when I'm done with the 4 screws. Next part to go on, I called it the rain cover. Has 9 screws. Inside 3. Outside 2, and back 1, and they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and just basically sits. Nothing fancy. Right in there. line up your holes, screw it on, and be back. Again, not sure how exciting it is to watch screws be put on, but that's what we do. This video is going to be quite boring when it comes down to it, but hey, someone will be happy to see it all. Maybe it'll go viral. Yeah. On the back. You don't want to strip. Try that one again. There we go. Not even getting it on there. Okay. Main cover on. So the next thing to go on is top cover. And line up some holes back here. Slots. Goes right on. And then there's 6 or 10 screws. Be right back. Before that, we got to do the top flue panel, which goes with 1, 2, and 3, and then cover with 6. Not sure how to show this too well, but there's a screw there, and on 2 on the sides. Then the next is the top cover, sides, 1, 2, 3, something like that. There's 6, I don't remember. Maybe, yeah, 1, 2, I don't know. 2 on each side for sure. And then we got the black panels. I'll come back on that. And it's just these 3 on each. Those other holes are for the black. These other holes are for the black cover. But we'll do that a little bit later. 1, 2, 3. And then to the other side, we do the same. 1, 2, 3. So I got my 3 on. The next thing is going to be the electrical and the side black panels, and we'll see. Okay, so I made up my 2 black connections here from underneath. Feed them through the black cover. Made up my electrical connections. I didn't show you those, but just reverse order the power and the instrumentation. Tighten up the bolts, and then we'll put the top cover on. Next thing is the right panel cover. And filming is probably terrible, but basically goes in there. and then there's 2 screws, and then a left and a right. One more time on this cover. I had to make up these black panel covers down here. There were 1, 2, 3 screws there. There'll be 2 at the top, and then 1, 2, where those little arrows are, 3, and 4. I'll be working on those. One, 2, and then these are fun. Trying to get them to line in. If we got a magnetic one, it'd be much easier. Can't see what I'm doing. Alright, pausing. Okay, right panel's on. All electrical connections are made up. Ready to rock and roll for the left side. Should be easier. We got this little puppy. Goes in here. That little black panel. And then side panel. And we'll be right back. Okay, we're gonna do the first 2 on the bottom and the side. Final one. Okay. And then we put el plastico panel. Nicely somehow. Oh boy. Gotta go behind, I think. There we go. Hang on. Need 2 hands. Okay. Last 2. Last one. Okay. And then again, it's going to be 1, 2, focus, 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 2, 3, and 4. There we go. And pause. And the last one here. Can't film it. Sorry, it's too exciting. Alright. What do we got? What do we got? We got 1, 2, 3 in there somewhere. 4, and the whole panel. Da 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 da. Okay, so we're down to the final final stuff, which really is one panel. And then that's it. Sorry for all the versions. One more time. Well, I just thought I saw it cycle on heat. Okay, it says it's on countdown. Yes, I had to open up the firebox and just clean up, and anyway, but now you hear that jet sound. We got some heat, baby. I am done. I am done. Everything looks good. Heat, spa, bypass only. Got some good heat coming out of this thing. We got it going. Bye-bye. Okay, we're gonna start back in the reverse order. We're gonna go with the rails on the left and the right, and then the I don't know, I called it the rain cover. That'll be across the top of the heat exchanger. Rails out. Pretty simple. Rails out. Pretty simple. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, starting with our screws back here. One on the bottom, one on the side. Be right back. Okay, one on the bottom, one on the side. Do the same on the other side. Right side rail. Screw on the right. Not sure why it's not focused. Bottom and left, and I'll be done with that. Okay, the next piece is this bottom rain cover. 8 screws. Pretty much sits straight on, as I'm showing you. 8 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't think it's too exciting to watch me screw them in, but if you'd like, humor me. May have to fiddle with them and get them to go lined up. A few of these are straight on, no problems. Okay. And I think I said on the other video, it's an 8mm socket for these screws. So I'll be right back.